10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Driving down the road in the dead of night, slam on the brakes at a red light. It's you. There's no need.
Hi and welcome to Dax Chats for another episode. I'm your host DJ Dax, and on this episode we have somebody that's just come out with a debut song, and we don't know where she came from. Well, she comes from Queensland. She lives in Ipswich, which is an outer suburb of Brisbane, and she hit the Country Thunder charts with her debut single, Lady in Red, at position number 3. Now, we all want to know why. So, today, Dax chats to Virjilla Joyce, and here she is right now. Hello. Virjilla, how are you?
I'm great.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, I need to know, before we even get to the new song, I need to know where you came from. So, you have been performing across the world, and it started from a very young age, and you got to perform at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Tell us about your journey.
Yeah, so I guess that was my moment of, shine. So I was one of the kids, when Nikki Webster sang?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was one of the kids holding a light in the audience as she sang.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's where I got a kind of taste of what performing was like, because I grew up in a small country town called Eden. If anyone's heard of Bega Cheese, it's near there.
I know where Eden is. Yes, I like that. I like that area. That's very nice.
A lovely place to grow up. But yeah, so my parents would drive me up to Sydney, I think every week or every fortnight, to practice for the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. It was a really cool experience. But yeah, I've been singing for a long time, but professionally it's sort of a new thing. But in 2016, I went traveling for 7 months, and I traveled to the Philippines, to England, to Canada, America, and I went to my first country music festival in Nashville in 2017. And I got a taste of, what it was like to sing in bars and that sort of thing. So I kind of decided then, okay, I'm gonna give it my best shot in 2017. And then I came back to Australia and I decided to start doing it professionally. Because what I did when I was traveling around the world, really, I kind of used my voice to kind of get me fed and somewhere to sleep. And I thought, I don't have much money, but I can sing.
That's a good way of doing it. I'll sing for my supper. There you go.
And I made it back to Australia, so it worked. And so then I started gigging in Brisbane. I've got the music scene here in Brisbane is beautiful. And then I released my album beginning of this year, just before Tamworth. And so we've debuted Lady in Red, which is a song that's very special to me, and I was really grateful because I got the amazing Vaughan Jones to play keys for me. So that amazing, beautiful piano that you can hear is VJ, who is amazing. But yeah.
Wow. So now it came out last I'm
Wednesday.
thinking Wednesday.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And by Friday it hit the Country Thunder 20 charts at number 3. What happened? How did that happen? Do you know?
I think it's the the message behind the song, because I wrote the song about my Auntie Jen who passed away from breast cancer. I guess my extended family really love it, and it was a way for me to kind of honour her memory, but also raise awareness for cancer, because, you know, really, I'm pretty sure everyone will have somebody that, you know, either passed or they've experienced cancer in their life. So I think it's a relatable subject.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, well, you know, my father passed away. I don't think it was cancer. He had cancer, but he survived cancer, but he passed away during COVID. So the song actually has some meaning to me as well. And yes, and you not only did you get number 3 on our international chart, you got number 2 on the Aussie chart.
Yeah, it was pretty
Did
cool.
you know that? Did
you? Number 2.
Number 2.
It's so surreal for me, because I don't know if I'm weird in a way. No, we're all weird. But I just create music for me, and if it can help other people, that's just an added bonus. And if I get paid, that's a triple bonus, I guess. So when I found out that I was charting, I was like, oh, wow, this is a bit strange, but cool. So I feel very blessed and honoured.
Well, who knows where you'll be this week? You'll have to wait until Friday night at about 7:30, 7:45 in the evening Eastern Standard Time before I announce it, because I have to do all the calculations, and it won't be easy this week, that is for sure. Yes, so because we are becoming more popular. So I guess where do you go from here? You know, like, have you got any other success on any other radio stations? Are you on any high rotations on radio stations like ours because of the charting success? You're on high rotation, of course. And where has it gone in the world, in the scheme of things in the world?
This is really bad. I'm going to sound super unprofessional, but I have no idea. I probably should check in with Tracy from CRS Publicity. I probably should have a chat with her.
CRS Publicity. Yes.
But this is probably because we released the song on 98.9. So I do go and see the guys from the Brekkie Show, Jamie and Clay, quite a bit. They're very lovely and very supportive. But I actually don't know. That's bad, hey.
Yeah. Jamie Dunn. Jamie Dunn. Oh, okay. So we're talking about Jamie Dunn. As far as I'm concerned, he's aggro. He's still aggro to me. When I was living in Brisbane and Ipswich, he was on B105 at that stage. Yes, and he was a breakfast radio announcer on B105, and I got to see Agro perform in Redbank Plains. There you go.
Wow.
Yes.
You came to Redbank Plains. Wow.
Yes. And it was in the middle of a field. It was an open air thing. It was like on a football field. I don't know what it was for, and I don't know why I was there, but yeah, I saw Agro in Redbank Plains on a football field. Back then.
That's a pretty cool story.
I can't remember all my stories. I'm getting old, you know. Like, but yeah, that's one thing I do remember. Look, it's only been like here we have a debut single, and bang, it's hit this high road straight away. Where do you go from there? What's next?
Well, I released the song with hoping to raise awareness and some funds for the McGrath Foundation. So that could be a reason why it's being so successful, because we're supporting people in need. So I think it's like $1.69 the song. So $1 from every singles sold till the end of the year, we donated to the McGrath Foundation. And then I also got these. Oh, I should have wore the shirt. Damn. We made these shirts. We made these shirts with the single cover that says Lady in Red, and $5 from each T-shirt sale is going to the McGrath Foundation as well. So I think, you know, people like to give back. So maybe that's why we've had some success. So and in this time as well, people want to, you know, they want to do something that feels good. So I feel like when you give back, that makes you feel good. So maybe that's the reason.
In this time, there's a segue into a new topic. In this time, maybe we should write a song called "In This Time." Obviously, the world is struggling with the likes of something we've never seen before in our history. How are you coping with it, and how's it working in Queensland? How's things going in Queensland? Because I know they've recently, actually yesterday, shut their borders to all states again. So what's going on?
Yeah, that's true. I can confirm that. You know, it's been very challenging, but eye-opening, and I feel like, you know, what is like, there isn't really much we can do about it. When it first sort of hit, I was massively impacted. And because for me, you know, music is always like the second job. And the second job became the first job, which was really exciting. But then COVID hit, and it went, and I was sort of like, oh no, am I doing the right thing?
Now I need to go. Now I need to go back and switch it around again and have music as the second job, because it's not working as the first job. It's not the first time I've heard that one.
I know, and it was quite sort of, oh dear, because you know, February came and I'd finally kind of I dropped to one day at the reception job, the real job, because I was working there 3 days a week, and then I'm a childhood entertainer as well, so I go into daycares and sing and play music and that sort of thing. So that's during the week, and then on the weekends I'm gigging. So, you know, it was a good setup. And then so I'm like, okay, I can drop the real job now. And I dropped that, and it was like a week after all this happened. I went, uh-oh, is this a sign? So it has impacted me massively, but thankfully to, you know, things like the JobKeeper and that sort of thing, I've been able to keep afloat. And then also what I found is that, you know, we don't need much to survive. You just kind of spend money when you have more money. And a really cool thing happened. So we did Tamworth, had a really great time. We came back in February, and we kind of had this idea, why don't we travel around Australia in a bus before our daughter goes to school? Because I've got a daughter she turned 2 on the weekend. And so we looked at buses, and then, oh, that's cool. And then in May, we purchased a bus, and we're about 3 weeks away from it finishing its fit out. So we plan to hit the road and kind of just chase music festivals, but we'll see where that ends up. But
you do know there's absolutely no music festivals happening in Australia right now. You do know. VDM Fest, maybe you just get the bus and drive up to Bullawheeler. Who knows if that will go ahead? But the organizer of VDM Fest is still confident that it is going to happen in October. I still don't know what's going to happen there. I keep watching. I mean, the Denny Ute must have got cancelled, and I'm like, that's really stupid. Why didn't you just put all the Utes in a row and have your first Denny Ute drive-in concert? It could have been easily organised. That could have been salvaged just by changing it around a little bit, because the Denny Ute muster, everything's already out there, and it's a big open area, and all they had to do is set it up like a drive-in theatre where you just drive your buddy cars into a place and go, right, that's where we're staying for 3 days. That's it.
And maybe that's what festivals are going to look like in the next couple of months. I don't know. But
possibly.
Yeah. And I think we've just had to get innovative about how we get our music out there and how we perform. This month I was actually booked every weekend. I did have a cancellation this weekend for the Kenmore mini muster, I think that's what it's called. So they just didn't have enough people coming. But I think because of this wave of what's happened here locally, I think people just got a bit fearful and wanted to stay in. But every other weekend I'm booked. So I'm feeling very grateful, and I'm just staying positive. That's all I can really do. And if they get cancelled, they get cancelled. Sure. There's nothing I can do.
Well, I mean, you're lucky that you have the opportunity to be able to get out and do some gigs still, because I think the Queensland Premier has been quite strict in the whole thing, and they loosened off a little bit, and then suddenly there's big problems down the coast, and so they went, no, bugger it, we're not letting it in, shut it all down and which is really funny because one of my mates, Matt Scullion, actually is on tour right now, and he had to drive through Queensland. He had at the border, he had to have all his paperwork, and he drove through Queensland, went to Winton, and now he's in the Northern Territory, and he's not going to be able to get back home because he has to come back through Queensland to get back home. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. He's stuck in the Northern Territory right now.
Oh wow! Where does he live?
Yeah, he lives in Newcastle.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, the whole thing keeps changing every second. You never know what's going to happen and where. I mean, even today here, I'm in China, right? So even today here, my wife comes home from work at lunchtime and she says, there's 2 cases in Hangzhou, and that's the city I live in.
Yes.
And I turned around and said, right, that's it. You put a mask back on. And I'm staying at home because, one, we don't know how many people those 2 that are infected have seen previously to being confirmed as infected, and we don't know how many of those people that may have been infected are asymptomatic and just passing it on to other people. So even though it might be a city of, I don't know how many people are in this city, 20, probably less than that, probably 10 million people in this city. I don't know who I'm walking next to and who might just have it, So yep, she's gone back to wearing masks. I've gone back to isolating at home, and I just said on my Facebook post earlier today, I said, there's no easy solution to this. It's not going away easily. Just so everybody wear a mask, sanitize, keep your distance from other people. My distance is really good. I get this distance. It's virtual. So I get to have these conversations in a virtual environment. I get to have fun talking to people. It's great. And of course, if you can, stay the hell at home. There's no reason to go out. Obviously, go out for your food and, shopping and, essential things. But look, if you need to exercise, you don't need to go to the gym to do it. Do it at home. Do your sit-ups and push-ups and what have you at home. But, I mean, people get lazy at home, so that's why they go to a gym. Drink too much. That's what everybody's doing right now. Everybody's drinking too much alcohol these days, and eating too much because they're all sitting at home. So a lot of people putting on more weight while we're going through this. And nobody knows when it's going to end. So we might all end up looking like fat people when we come out the other side of it.
But we're alive.
Right, that's right. So in the course of COVID, obviously, everybody, as you said, has to switch their way of thinking and do things differently. So, what have you done in a different space to be able to retain your audience?
So, something that I think massively helped me was I started doing gigs in my driveway, so for my neighbors. And so I did that every week, just because I wanted to spread some joy. And it is a hard time for people if they are, well, that in that time everyone was sort of isolating, and it was, the restrictions were quite tight. So I just wanted to bring, joy to my street, but we streamed it as well. And it was phenomenal, the response I was getting. And it was something I wouldn't have got prior to all of this happening. So I did the driveway gigs. And then now I've just been thinking of ways to, so sort of like, this virtual thing that we're doing here. So I created like a 6-week back to basics about, vocal training. So that's something that I've been doing. And then just thinking of other ways to connect with people through music like this. There is
a pub in Ipswich.
Yes.
I know it's in Ipswich because they contacted me. I can't remember the name of the venue or who was doing it, but why they were shut down, they were using the venue as a place where you could go and do your gig with multi-camera access and stuff like that, and stream it out via Facebook and I don't know if it was Instagram, but Facebook and YouTube at least. Do you know of that situation?
Yeah, I do, but I can't remember what it's called. But I know what you're talking about. I've got a gig. I've got a gig, like a online thing. I think it's next weekend with Studio 188, and I think it's through the Civic Centre in Ipswich. So a lot of venues have been doing that as well and have been very supportive. So we're very lucky.
Yeah, because I remember I remember getting someone contact me about what they were doing at the venue, and I'm like, I'm not from Ipswich, I'm not from Brisbane. I might know some people, but so obviously I put a few feelers out, and I don't know. It's up to the artist whether they want to do it, but. I know, of course, I know Kim Wright, who lives out at Ipswich, and I know a few others around. I know people that live in Toowoomba.
He's a top
like
bloke, Kim.
Yeah, Kim's a great bloke. So down to earth, and his family's beautiful. His wife's lovely. I just can't fault him. He's a great guy.
Yeah. He's awesome. I met him through Agro.
Oh, you met him through Agro, through Jamie Dunn. We shouldn't call him Agro because he doesn't do it anymore, does he?
I know.
It's just Jamie Dunn now.
Yeah.
He's just an old fat bloke at a radio station now.
I didn't say that. He's lovely.
It's all right. He is. I got nothing against Jamie Dunn at all. Don't worry. Moving on, obviously you must be getting a little bit excited about what's coming on Friday night.
Very excited.
Sorry, can't give it away. I do know the answers, but the answers can change at any minute.
That's true.
Yeah, so where you might be situated right now might not be where you're situated come Friday night. So, so you just have to wait and see. And we must have a big shout out to your publicist, because Sammy does amazing work. She is a good friend of mine. Her and Luke, I have managed to get to see Luke live before I headed back to China. So they do amazing work. And how have they been for you?
Oh, amazing. I feel like Semi is a part of my family. She just welcomed me with open arms. And my daughter is a huge fan of Luke's Bad Seed. It's a great song. But it's been phenomenal. Like the reach that she's given me has been amazing, and all the contacts that she has helped me with, incredible. So anyone, and then especially when COVID hit as well, she went above and beyond to make sure that, you know, our voices were heard, we were seen. She just really sent our message out to the masses, really. But she's incredible. I love her. Like, love her. And anyone that needs publicity, I need publicity now, is her business, and I highly recommend her. She just really takes you on and treats you like family, and that's what you need.
Very good, very good. She does, and Bad Seed is a top song. However, I like the song Radio Man. If you listen to Luke Dickens's album and you look up the Radio Man song, it is awesome. I
better try that with my daughter. She's a huge fan.
Well, I don't know. I think you should try it first without your daughter, because your daughter's only 2 years old, and the subject is a bit risque.
Okay.
It's like I couldn't say a murder ballad, but it's like it's a one of those songs where an outback, you know, serial killer with the radio on in his car.
It sounds like it's got a good story.
It has got a good story, and I like it because it's called Radio Man, and that's just what I am. I'm a radio man. But Bad Seed was awesome. Still waiting for him to bring out a new single. I'm like, come on, what are you doing? And
what are you doing, Luke?
Obviously, with COVID and all the restrictions and stuff, everything's been put back and put on hold. And lucky they got married before all this happened.
I know,
because they got married at the end of last year, I think, somewhere in October last year. So just lucky they got everything sorted, and then of course he had to try and sell his house where he lived and move everything to, and that was during the pandemic. They were driving, from Young back to Queensland. Oh God, I don't know how they did that. But it was fun anyway, and you've done fantastic. The song is great. It's sitting on number 2 on the All Aussie Country Thunder 20, number 3 on the International Country Thunder 20. High rotation. So you get high rotation for 6 days of the week. Awesome start to hopefully what will be an awesome career.
Yeah, I hope so. And thank you to everyone who voted. It really means the world to me. And thank you to you as well.
No problem. All right, Virjilla, thank you very much for your time. And until we speak again, because I'm sure we will, have fun.
You too. Stay healthy and safe.
No. Shall do. All right, see you later.
Bye.
That was Virjilla Joyce. Her brand new song is called Lady in Red, and if you haven't heard it yet, you should be listening to it. You can download it, stream it on all the usual platforms, or jump onto the Country Thunder Network, countrythunder.com.au, request a song from the player, or vote for the song on the Country Thunder 20. Until next time, this is DJ Dax for Dax Chats, proudly supported by Neon Horse in Victoria. Signing off. Bye for now.